Good morning, everyone. This is Charles. Welcome. Hey, I was online this morning and I ran across this article on the All News Pipeline. I was referred to here by the Steve Quayle website. I only go to some of these sites to keep up on what these people think and what they're doing. I've actually emailed Quayle and this author of this article here, this Susan Duclos, a few times, and they either ignore me or they laugh because I only have, or as Steve Quayle said, 37 views, as if the number of views that you have determines whether what you report or whether what you say or whether what you write is the truth or not. You know, people, truth is not very popular. You're not going to make a lot of money by telling other people the truth. People do not want to hear the truth. I mean, get real. There's we could talk about how Americans and Europeans have rejected the truth for years and years. The Europeans are starting to wake up to what's really going on in their country. And a little background on this Susan Duclos. I believe that this site is a gatekeeper site. And it's authors like Mrs. Duclos here, and it's authors like Susan, who keep the attention off of the real source of the problems and on to a scapegoat. Am I saying that there aren't problems with Muslims? Oh, sure there are, obviously. But who was the origin? Who was the source of the problems? It's not the Muslims. The Muslims are just taking advantage of the ignorance and the downright stupidity of Americans and Europeans, and they're flooding and they're invading these countries, and these people are just open arms and letting them in. And you'll see down here where they buy them homes and they give them food and they give them all this stuff. But who is behind all this? And I used to comment on this site under my other name, Kerux. I have a website called Kerux Replies, and I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to hide my name. So she banned me. She after the second warning, you're an anti-Semite, so we don't want to hear about it here. So anyway, I'm not going to read the whole article to you, but they're calling the Muslims the vipers, all right, and they're basing it on the poem that Donald Trump read, and he may know the origin of the problems being from New York. I think Donald Trump knows a lot more than he lets on, but this poem is not referring to the Muslims. He's applied it to the Muslims, but that's not what the poem is referring to. So I read through this a little bit. I kind of skimmed through it, and I like to read the comments. I like to see what people are actually doing, and or what people actually believe and how they respond. And this guy here, the Lord told his prophets to warn Americans the greatest danger they face are the Muslims. That's not true. And then they have this photo, the image, the front cover of this magazine in Europe, how it's a white woman is being attacked by Arabs, by non-white men. And then this guy goes on and on here. You can come back and read that all later. But the point I want to make here is I had to sign up again under my own name. I'm not trying to hide anything. And I posted this, as you can see, just a few minutes ago. Excuse me, folks, but both John the Baptist in Matthew 3:7 and Luke 3:7, and the Lord Jesus Christ, Matthew 12:24 and Matthew 23:33, referred to the Jewish Pharisees as vipers, not the Muslims. You might want to investigate those behind the 1965 Immigration Act, 3 Jews, and you can watch my video that on the speech I gave in Missoula about 4 years ago this time, and I think I have a follow-up video. And anyway, it goes into a little more detail on who's behind the 1965 Immigration Act. And it wasn't the Muslims. Sorry, folks. It wasn't the Muslims behind the 1965 Immigration Act here in the United States. And as I continue here, and listen to Barbara Lerner Specter as she tells Europeans they must accept multiculturalism or Europe will not survive. So, and I posted this video. I'm going to play it here.
As we heard, there are people in Sweden who support Israel and have a deep sense of the injustice of the present situation. It's these people who give hope to those who still believe that things will get better here. One of them is Barbara Specter, a former American who made Aliyah and then 10 years ago, with the help of the government of Sweden, set up a non-denominational institute of Jewish learning with the Greek name of Paideia, here in Stockholm. She believes the current wave of anti-Semitism in Sweden will pass and that Jews have an important role to play in a country undergoing profound change.
I think there's a resurgence of anti-Semitism because at this point in time, Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural. And I think we're going to be part of the throes of that transformation, which must take place. Europe is not going to be the monolithic societies that they once were in the last century. Jews are going to be at the center of that. It's a huge transformation for Europe to make. They are now going into a multicultural mode, and Jews will be resented because of our leading role. But without that leading role and without that transformation, Europe will not survive.
Paideia.
Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the mouth of the viper. I tell you what, so I wrote, these vipers are the source of our problems, not the Muslims, not the Islamists. You know, I said, go ahead, learning a bit of truth won't kill you, but rejecting truth might. You know, folks, if you reject the truth, we're going to pay the price for it. Anyway, there are some people catching on here. Here we are in a battle right now in Montana to stop the flow of migrants being resettled into our little towns and cities. This is where I live, and their ignorant enclave of liberals in Missoula is pushing for the resettlement up and down the Bitterroot Valley, Missoula, Helena, Bozeman, Kalispell, where I live. We are in trouble, folks. The majority do not want them here. Those who are fighting this are being called Nazis, racists, and every other names in the book. The liberal bullying tactics being used are reminiscent of the ones used on the Germans and the Swedes. And then here's some, you read through this stuff and it gives me, folks, we're in such deep trouble because the propaganda and the brainwashing and the programming through the Talmud vision has been so effective, has been so successful, that people who get their understanding from the world, about the world, from Hollywood and from TV, don't have a clue. They've been programmed and they just don't get it. But anyway, I wanted to get this on record before this post will probably get removed, but I got it on there, and I don't know who's going to see this. But anyway, I got so much more to say, and there's only so many hours in a day. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Please like if you do, share and subscribe. And may the Lord bless you as you continue to embrace the love of the truth. See ya.